Hello everybody, we're on a big slurry job today. So what we're doing, we've just seen us start that, so we're laying out some hose, and we're going to lay out every inch of hose we've got today, which will put us out at 1600 meters. So we're going to cross our land to our boundary. We're going to then go across a neighbour's wheat fields, winter wheat, back into another block of land that we rent, and then we will spend tomorrow pumping the slurry out. So you've just seen us lay out the first pipe. I've pulled it across to the side to get it out of the way, because we turn here with a mixer wagon later on and again in the morning. So we just put it there out of the way. Obviously that's a store. It's not quite full up. There's about 2 or 3 foot gap at the top, so it'd be nice if it was full, but here we are. And here is the reception pit, and here's where the suction pipe will go, come up into the umbilical pump, and then on into the lay flat. It's the 25th of February today, and it's very warm. It's about 18 degrees, and it's the first video of the year where I don't have a boiler suit on. It's nice, it's pleasant to be out. I'll just have a quick look at some grass. So this is, the cows will be grazing this as soon as it's practical. Some nice colour. It's a good bit here, it's come over the winter. Oh, first pipe out. Reel it out, go on a bit. Right, so we're 400 metres from the yard now, so that's 2 lengths of pipe. So we've come to, this is our boundary. This is our boundary here. So what brother's done now, he's gone up round the road. He's going to come into the next door farm, across the field, back up to that hedge, and then we will pull, I don't know, 1/3 of a pipe back through to get to our joiner. Now, the first 2 lengths are 5 inch, and then we go on to 4 inch, so we need this adapter to change size. The reason we use 5 inch pipe, we've got 2 lengths of 5 inch and the rest is 4. We put the 5 inch next to the pump because you need to, the biggest enemy of long distance slurry pumping is friction. So the bigger pipe reduces the friction by quite a lot. It's only 1 inch bigger, and the actual bore of the pipe is substantially larger, and that reduces the friction. So you put your big pipe next to the pump, then you go on down the smaller pipe, and that will take us the rest of the way. So we've got another 6 lengths to go on now. Right, so we're up to a hedge now in the field. Now we've got a lot all kinked up in the field because we had to lay it out quick, drop it to then poke this end through the hedge, roll it back on to take the slack out, and then go on again. So we'll pull probably half of this pipe back up onto the reeler before driving on, and that'll leave 1 more pipe on the big reeler, which won't get to the hedge, it won't get to our next boundary. So we'll pull this through. So one of the biggest advantages of an umbilical system is you only have to do this once to get out on the road, not every load. Sometimes you're here for a long time, sometimes it's quick, but today it doesn't seem to be too bad. Well, there we are. Where the wheat is too, so that's where butter went down there. So what we're going to do now, we're going to leapfrog past him up to the next lane, and then we will go into our block of rented land and meet him. He wouldn't have got there, so what we'll do, we'll stick half of this, probably half of a pipe through the hedge to meet up with where he got to. Right, so we're just coming up to the corner now. You can see him on the other side of the hedge. So again, this corner is our boundary on this bit of land. So he's still on the wheat. We'll stick a pipe through. He will then back up to wherever he got to with his other end and connect them up. And then I can go on and put the other two pipes out into this block. Pulled enough through now, pitch it on the front of his, and then he'll just back up. We'll ring him up now so that we can know when he's got there. Alright, so he's all coupled up that end now, and that gives us 2.5 pipes to play with out here. So we'll go as far as we go. Normally we do get the whole lot covered. So we don't poke through any hedges out here. It's always just through the gateways. So there we are, that's everything, all the pipe we got, 1600 metres. That's a mile in proper money. So it's getting off a late afternoon now, so that's it for today. We're not going to start pumping today. So what we'll do is we'll get going first thing in the morning. There is a chance of a frost tonight, so we don't want to pump and leave any water in the pipes. But as they're all empty, they'll be fine. We can start pumping straight away in the morning. So we'll see you tomorrow. Right, so we're early next day now. I'm just going to do the quick daily maintenance on the spreader. It's not a lot. There's a grease nipple up in here for the spinny, turny thingy on the back. And there's also, and this bit here is supposed to turn to allow any pipes kinks to come out. Now it gets stiff, so what we do, just take it off and grease, put some oil around the rubber seal, and then up there, and then we're done. So it's a very basic machine. Obviously, pipe goes on the back, comes up through, gate valve here, although we don't control it as such. Once the pump's running, the pump stays running. Nice little addition I put on here, because the end of these are nasty sharp things, and I could see something were going to happen when I was hitching on or off one day. So I stuck a tennis ball on the end. Well, I have actually bumped into that tennis ball, but I never did bump into the spiky bit before I put it on. Just 3 simple stands to hitch it off, and that's it. So there's nothing to it really. Nice and simple, nice and basic. So a bit of grease into the pin. Just whip this coupling off. It's just 10mm bolt in there. So put the spanners just to have the nut off their bolt. So this is just old vacuum pump oil in Mother's best saucepan. Don't tell her and she won't know. So a bit of grease in there, we just mix it up. Just paint round there, just to let it spin easily. There we go, turns nice and easily now. Put a bit more oil up in here where it pivots, just to keep it nice and lubricated. There's a lot of force on this when you turn it, and with a lot of pipe up behind. So everything you do, just to make it a little bit easier. And that's that, job done. He's ready for face today. Right, so we've been spreading a couple of hours now. We've done 2 fields, we're into the 3rd. So I had to roll the pipes up to get the top 2 into these middle 2, and then behind there's another 3 to do. So it's another warm day. It was cold overnight, about -3 it went down to, so that's why we left the pipes empty. Although that probably wouldn't have affected them too much. It certainly wouldn't have frozen them solid if there was anything in there. But just one thing I need to say about the umbilical system is if we were to bring tanker loads of slurry to this block of land, which is around the road is about a mile to get here. Now I've never actually had the tanker on this tractor, but I've had it on the 7614, which is back at home on the pump. If I can do a 2,000 gallon load to leave from home, come up here and spread it and get back home again, I know that takes 4 litres of diesel to do one load, one tanker load, plus a little bit to get it in the tanker, which is, you know, a little bit on a different tractor. At the moment, we're running the full 1600 metres of pipe. We're spreading, I expect it's 25 foot wide, might be 20 foot, you know, the width of the spread. Unfortunately, we don't have a flow meter, so we don't know what rate it is sending it down the line. But I do know that the tractor on the pump, the 7614, he's running on 28 litres an hour of diesel. And we're spreading here about 5 kilometres an hour, and we're on 3.5 litres of diesel an hour just pulling the pipe around. So the diesel use is a considerable saving per gallon. So with the tanker, in a good run, depending on traffic, I mean it's all traffic dependent on how long it takes to get out on the road. I can do 2 loads an hour turning around. And obviously we're way ahead of that on this. We've done the first field's 3. We've easily done 16 acres in about 2.5 hours. So 2.5 hours in a tanker, that would get me about 5 loads, which might have done 3 acres. So there's no comparison. It is obviously, it's 2 labour units. There's one on the Dad's at home on the pump. He's operating the pump. He's filling the reception pit, and the Kubota is stirring, keeping the tower stirred up. So he's running between those 3 little jobs, and obviously I'm just here running about, rolling up and down, you know, rolling the pipes in and out to move around, and just trundling up and down, doing the spreading. So what we're spreading is diluted cow slurry. There is a lot of parlour washings in it, and also yesterday morning, before we rolled the pipes out, we transferred all the water we had, dirty water from the parlour pit and the effluent pit that catches the silage effluent from the silage barn. We transferred all that into the tower and stirred it in, because to get it to pump this distance you need it thin, and we're just giving it a light coat. This is, if you saw the video I did probably October last year, I came up to this bit of land and I looked at our store cattle. They were up here. When did we bring them home? Probably November we brought them home, so they were up here quite late. They've let the grass down well. There's not much here. There's certainly less here than we've got at home, because the cows come in a bit earlier. So because this is so thin, what we're spreading out, and there's not a lot here, it's not going to contaminate the grass. It's just warm today. I think we've got another good day of weather tomorrow, which will be Wednesday. And I think Thursday onwards it might turn showery. So that'll wash the leaves off, and the nutrients we're putting on in the slurry, and that little bit of rain, and it's going to stay warm. Even though it's going to rain, it's still going to stay not as warm as today, but it's going to stay in just about 10 degrees according to the weather. So this should kick this grass on now, although it's still very early, end of February, but hopefully got to make use of this weather while it's here. So that's it, job completed. We've run out in the tower now, the tower's empty. We've covered about 44 acres. Today we did the big pump yesterday, and we've done 10 acres this morning to finish off. So we were 1 field short. There's about 6 acres we didn't get to cover. So the pump's finished now. We're just, I don't know if you can see at the back, we're blowing air down the line with the compressor. It's just dribbling out, just emptying the pipeline out. So that's it, job done. So the compressor been on for 20 minutes now. No sign of any air coming out. Oh, here we go. There we are. So that's us finished now, just waiting for the pressure to die down in the pipeline. So if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to the channel. Please give us a thumbs up if you like the video. And that's it. So I'll say thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.